Have you ever wondered how deep Earth's water really is? Here's a fact that puts it into perspective. If Mount Everest, the tallest mountain on the planet, were placed upside down into the ocean's deepest point, it would still not touch the bottom. Mount Everest rises about 8,849 meters above sea level, while the Challenger Deep in the Mariana Trench reaches nearly 10,900 meters below the surface. Even with Everest fully submerged, more than 2 kilometers of water would remain above its peak. That comparison alone shows how extreme ocean depth really is. As depth increases, pressure becomes the biggest threat. Water is heavy, and it stacks relentlessly. For every 10 meters you descend, pressure increases by 1 atmosphere. At 100 meters underwater, the pressure is already 11 times greater than what we feel on land. At 1,000 meters, it becomes more than 100 times greater. At the deepest parts of the ocean, pressure exceeds 1,000 atmospheres. The human body is not built for this. Without protection, lungs collapse, gases compress, and survival becomes impossible within seconds. Light disappears far earlier than most people realize. Sunlight can only penetrate about 200 meters into the ocean. Below this point, complete darkness takes over. This means that more than 90% of the ocean exists in permanent night. Vision becomes useless, and life must adapt in completely different ways. Deep-sea creatures rely on heightened senses, chemical signals, or bioluminescence, producing their own light to survive. Depth doesn't just remove light, it rewrites the rules of life. Temperature also drops sharply with depth. Surface waters may feel warm, but a few hundred meters below, temperatures approach near freezing almost everywhere on Earth. Deep ocean temperatures usually remain between 0 and 4 degrees Celsius. Combined with crushing pressure and total darkness, this creates one of the most extreme environments known. Yet life still exists there, proving that depth does not eliminate life, it reshapes it. Sound behaves differently in deep water, which is why submarines use sonar instead of cameras. Water transmits sound faster and farther than air, allowing noises to travel for hundreds of kilometers. This makes the deep ocean strangely loud, even though it is visually silent. Whale calls, tectonic movements, and underwater landslides can all be detected across vast distances. Depth turns sound into the primary sense of the ocean. Freshwater depth tells a similar story. Lakes may look calm and harmless, but deep lakes are complex systems. Lake Baikal in Russia is the deepest freshwater lake on Earth, reaching over 1,600 meters. It contains nearly 20% of the world's unfrozen freshwater. At its deepest levels, oxygen is scarce, temperatures are stable, and ancient species exist that are found nowhere else on the planet. Depth isolates ecosystems, allowing life to evolve independently over millions of years. Rivers change with depth as well. Shallow rivers are fast and oxygen-rich, while deeper sections move slower near the bottom and can trap sediment, debris, and even pollutants for decades. Engineers focus heavily on river depth when designing bridges, dams, and flood defenses because depth determines erosion strength and structural stress. Depth is not just a measurement, it's a force. Human psychology reacts strongly to water depth. Fear increases when the bottom disappears from view. This isn't weakness, it's instinct. Depth removes reference points, escape routes, and visibility. Many drowning incidents are linked to sudden depth changes, where panic sets in before physical exhaustion. The mind reacts to depth before the body does. Despite modern technology, we have explored less than 5% of the ocean. Space is easier to observe than the deep sea. Satellites can map the ocean floor roughly using gravity data, but direct exploration requires submersibles capable of surviving crushing pressure. Most machines fail long before reaching the deepest zones. The ocean isn't hiding secrets out of choice. It's hiding them because depth actively destroys anything unprepared to face it. Depth of water controls climate, ecosystems, sound, pressure, and survival itself. It holds more unknowns than outer space, yet it exists right beneath our planet's surface. We live on a world dominated by water, but most of its depth remains unseen, unexplored, and barely understood. The deeper we look, the more we realize how small we really are.